Suburban Sentinel here with a quick gear review. Today we'll be looking at the Corr Firearms storage bags. Now these were designed for both long-term and short-term storage of firearms and the associated accessories. The purpose of these bags is to prevent corrosion on your firearms from exposure to ambient air. This type of product is necessary and or appropriate in those circumstances where your ability to control the environment your firearms are in is limited. I bought my first Corr bag for storage of my aviation survival carbine, and the gun sits in the cargo bay of a light plane for months at a time with no environmental controls. Moreover, the gun has to be stored in something that is lightweight and not very bulky because space is obviously limited. So let's take a look at the form, fit, and function of these bags. First, there are two types. There's a Velcro seal type, which I have here, and the company had, at some point fairly recently, come out with a vacuum seal type, where you use a vacuum cleaner to suck out excess air inside the bag. I only have the Velcro type, so the review is going to be limited to the earlier versions, but both are still made. The bags come in a variety of sizes, such as for pistols like the one on the screen here, and there are other sizes for rifles, shotguns, carbines, etc. So let's take a closer look at how these things work. I'm going to have to change the camera angle here. All right, let's open this one up. Again, this uses a heavy-duty Velcro closure. I can get this sucker open. In this particular bag, I have my wife's Ruger 2245. Let me get a little extra lighting in here. And you can see that there's a blue material impregnated inside the bag, and that's the basis for how this functions. The bag works on what's called VPCI technology, or vapor phase corrosion inhibitors. I don't really understand the chemistry of it, but in sum, there's a proprietary mix of chemicals impregnated in the bag, and these chemicals give off a gas which migrates to the metal surfaces of your firearms. The gas coats the metal surfaces of your firearm with a microscopically thin layer of anti-corrosive compound. The outside of the bag is made up of layers of foil that keep the ambient air out and the VPCI compound in. The bag is fairly puncture and tear resistant, but is not really made for transport. It's made just for storage. So if there's any possibility of rough handling, you're going to want to stick the bag inside a soft gun case or something like that for some extra protection. So how do you use this thing? Well, it's fairly straightforward. All that's required is you take your firearm and clean it as you normally would. This 2245 has been in this bag for many months. Just lubricate it as if you were going to take it to the range within the next few days. There's no long-term preservation to the firearm, no cosmoline or heavy greases or oils. Essentially, just get it ready to either carry or use. Once the gun is clean and lubricated, simply take the gun, place it in the bag with whatever accessories you want to go in with it. Press out the excess air and seal the Velcro. Again, there is a vacuum model, but I bought these before those were on the market. When you're ready to use your firearm, simply take it out of the bag and it's ready to go. The remnants of the VPCI compound evaporate almost immediately, so there's no buffing, polishing, or anything else that has to be done. You can just use your firearm as if you took it out of the gun safe. Note that you want the VPCI molecules to migrate onto your firearm So don't put the gun in a gun sock or anything like that. Also, don't store a dirty firearm in one of these bags. The firearm has to be cleaned in advance for it to work properly. So let's talk a little bit about the logistics. These are life-limited bags. The VPCI compound eventually gives out. The biggest factors in the lifespan of the bag are the number of times it's open to ambient air and the duration of time that it's exposed to the atmosphere. According to the manufacturer, if you open and close the VPCI bags frequently, let's say once a week, the bag should be good for up to 5 years. And if you are in and out of the bag very infrequently, the bag should last for 20 years. According to the manufacturer, the VPCI compound is only attracted to metals. So the bag is safe for use with wood and synthetics. The bag is also safe for use with optics, although they recommend covering the lenses of your scopes. And finally, the bag is suitable for storing ammunition. So how well do these bags work? Well, so far I've been very happy with mine, and I devised my own informal test. Just under 2 years ago, I placed my 1911 in one of the Corr pistol bags, identical to this one. I then placed the bag way up in the rafters in the back of the attic in the house. Now the attic has no climate control. It has direct venting to ambient air, both summer and winter. It's subjected from temperatures to below 0 to well over 100 and humidity levels in excess of 90%. I stored the gun in the attic just like this, with the bag as its only means of protection. And again, this was almost 2 years ago before I ever heard of this crazy YouTube thing. But after the 2-year mark, I'm going to open up the bag and see how it did. So in the next video, we will look at the results of this long-term Corr bag test. Thanks for watching. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. Shoot safely, everybody.